Hello, hello, hello. What's up, everybody? It's Tuesday night, so you already know we're going to put one on. Not really talking about a series today. Today, we're just going to be kicking back, chilling, having a few sippers. And for all my sippers out there, we're going to be going back and maybe checking out some bottles that aren't our favorites that we've purchased in the past. Of course, everything is all relative. All palates are different. Palettes are the most subjective thing ever. Some people are going to like some things. Some people are going to like others. These are just my opinions. Not trying to get anybody on tilt out there. But yeah, these are just some of the bottles that I've bought that are not my favorite. So yeah, I figured I'd call this Happy Hour the Bad Batch. Oh, why not? Since that's the show we're watching. Absolutely loving it. For all my Star Wars fans out there, I hope you guys are checking it out over on Disney Plus. The Bad Batch. It is a fun little watch, I have to admit. Oh man, but yeah, just getting the palate warmed up with a little Jameson Black Barrel. Figured might as well get it started off with one that's not my favorite. A lot of people really like the Jameson Black Barrel. It's one of their favorite Jamesons. Just that rarity. I actually prefer just the regular Jameson. I like the regular Jameson just fine. I actually drink that one quite a bit. I like it a lot. Just a nice, cheap, easy, smooth sipper to get things started. So I figured I'd get this night started with the Jameson Black Barrel and get the palate all warmed up. Oh, man, but we got that one down. Figure we would check. Here's one I haven't. Look at this bottle. It's almost gone. That's just, I've shared basically all of that. I think I did the review sip out of this, like just the neck pour, and I don't think I've tasted it since. So this is going to be a great one to go back and try. Most of you guys know I'm not the biggest fan of bourbon. Most of it has this like burnt Dr. Pepper taste is the way I describe it. And this is one of the ones that has it worst of all. Like that's the note I get out of it. Burnt Dr. Pepper. So not my favorite. Haven't had this in like over a year. Just basically been sharing out the bottle. So before it's gone, figure might as well get back in there and check it out. See what's what. I'm trying to be too crazy. Got a few of these to get tonight. How we're doing. Oh, everybody that checks this out later, put down below what you were sipping on. What maybe weren't. Oh no, already? Look at this. I don't know why it does that, but it seems like every time right when you first start out, or right when I first start out, the connection goes wonky. It's like when I go to move too fast or do something. I don't know. It's Tuesday night. There can't be that many people out there. Oh, sorry for everybody that's battling through this. Hopefully it's chilling out and getting set. On the rewatch, it usually sets itself up in about 48 hours. But yeah, for some reason, right out of the gate, it always goes a little wonky out there. But yeah, gonna be, I guess I can't say starting out. Started out with the Jameson Black Barrel, but that's actually a big pour. Not like it. Definitely give it a fair shot. Like I said, I haven't had this Angel V in over a year. This is the regular one. Man, driving me nuts. I can just see that bar coming up, which means I know it's starting to like glitch, and that's going to drive me crazy. Oh man, probably driving you guys crazy too. Maybe you have to move and talk real slow so it doesn't do that. I don't know what setting I can put on there to make that stop or make that not happen, but that is crazy. It's like I've been going for less than 4 minutes, and I've already seen it like come up like 3 times. That's no good. It's no good at all. But hopefully we can battle through and make it through this. If it gets too wonky, I will kill it. That's going to drive me crazy. But yeah, like I said, most of you guys know I'm not the biggest fan of bourbon. And this one is very bourbony, even though I guess technically it's not a bourbon because it's finished in port wine barrels. So I guess technically it's not even a bourbon. But on the bottle, it says Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey, finished in port wine barrels. I guess they have to say that. Oh, and there we go again. So I wondered, like, if the voice gets wonky too, or if it's just the video that keeps freezing up. But that is just going to drive me nuts. Every time I look over, that thing's up there. See, I wonder if I turn this off, if that'll have an effect on it. That's already off, so yeah. Yep, I don't know what's doing that or why it's going like that, but that is horrifying. And of course, I'm not listening to it, so I don't know how bad it sounds on the other end, but I'm going to have to check my Bluetooth. Bluetooth, my Wi-Fi. Oh, yeah, letting this one air out again for the 10th glitchiest time. Just not the biggest fan of bourbon, and Angel's Envy just has that taste in bourbon that I really don't like the most. But it's been over a year, so we're going to give it a fair shake and try it out again. Cheers. Wow, it's definitely flattened out. Like I said, this bottle kind of goes slow enough and make it not glitch out. But you can see how much has gone out of that bottle. So there's definitely plenty of air on it, and it's been sitting there for a while. So it is definitely flattened out quite a bit. It's not quite so pungent with that burnt Dr. Pepper now. Wow, it's still there, but it's way in the background now. It's not like it was right up in your face when I first opened this. This isn't so bad. Yeah, that subsided quite a bit. Nice. Oh, there you go. Just let a little air get on the bourbon, and it's not so bad at all. Yeah, that's not too shabby. It's definitely got way more air than it has liquor in there, so I'm sure that's having an effect on it. But yeah, I don't hate that. That's not still not my favorite flavor, but I don't hate it. Like when I first tasted it, I was not a fan at all. This has definitely gotten better, so check one to the good. That's a good start. Again, I don't know if I can say start. I started with the Jameson Black Barrel, and I still kind of feel the same about that one. Again, I don't hate it. There's nothing to love about it for me. Love Irish whiskey, but just not really into that one so much. And it's funny, I love Irish whiskey, but two of the seven, I guess, are Irish whiskeys. Got another one coming up here pretty quick, actually. Probably next. Probably drink it next. Gotta say, I'm impressed with the Angel's Envy. I like that a lot better than I remember. A lot more than I remember. So that's good. Oh, I stay hydrated drinking all these whiskeys. And kind of freshen the palate a little bit, give it a little cleanser. Oh, there's that little thing again. You go away. I'm trying to keep it going. I can see it just glitch like robotic. Is it glitching on the voice as well, or is it just the video? Yeah, I don't even know what to do. It says if you have a problem with that, like hardwire it, plug the wire in. I don't even know what wire I would plug in to this. I mean, it's not like the old school. Hopefully this doesn't click too loud. But it's not like the old school DSL where you can plug in a phone wire. So yeah, I don't even know what wire to plug in hardwire this one. But yeah, it definitely looks like it is glitching. Trying not to move, going quiet. Appreciate you guys giving me the thumbs up out there, even though I know this video is glitching like an MFer. Good Lord. I can even see it now. It's just down to one little bar. I don't know. Connection is fairly good. If you're on Wi-Fi, try plugging it into your router or moving closer to it. I'm already pretty close to it. But we're just going to keep it going and hope it catches up and they fix it in post. And yeah, just have to battle through. Like I said, I'm going to do another Irish whiskey in this route. This is another one that a lot of people that like Irish whiskey just love, and I am just not a fan of. It just tastes like super salty sunflower seeds, which is weird because I like salty sunflower seeds, but not as the number one flavor in a whiskey, I guess, because that's what I get out of this, and this is not my favorite. But it's been a while, so let's give it another. That was a pretty decent pop. Let's give it another shot and see if anything's changed. Nice, beautiful, light, natural color. I'll give it that. At least it doesn't look like there's any color added, so we like that. Boom, bada boom. See what we can do here. See if this helps it out. See if that helps out this router from choking up so much. Let's see. Can I come back? Can you stay not glitchy? Can you stay not glitchy? Am I moving too much? But yeah, this is the Teeling. I mean, it's non-chill filtered. I don't believe there's any color added. Coming in at 46% ABV, so 92 proof, right there in the fun zone. We love that. Oh man, this one just smells super light, a little bit floral. And there's a sunflower seed. Lots and lots of sunflower seeds. Oh, don't do it! Don't do it! Stay on. Do not go janky. Do not go janky. Did we save it? Hopefully that worked. Yeah, I mean, this one's kind of light, kind of floral. Man, maybe a little sweet and sour with a tad bit of honey, but sunflower seeds is the number one thing I get out of this. The Teeling, it's just the Teeling whiskey single malt. But yeah, 46%. I mean, doing everything right. It's just that flavor profile I just can't get past. But let's see if anything's changed. Slunge. That sunflower, it subsided a little bit. It's almost more like a sweet malt now. That has changed a little bit. I've given it some time. I let some air hit this one, and this one's definitely changed. It's funny. I'm sure a lot of us have saw that recent one where they tried to do does neck pour, do neck pours change anything, and they're like pouring the neck pour and then tasting it 5 minutes later, and they're like, oh yeah, nothing changed. It's like, are you kidding me? It's like, yeah, that's not quite what everybody's talking about. 5 minutes later. Oh, when people are talking about the neck pour, it's like the first pour out of the bottle, it's a little bit stiff. But once you take a couple of pours out, not literally just the neck pour, but once you take a couple of pours and get it out of there, and there's actually some air that gets in there on it, and then you give it more than 5 minutes, like actually a couple of weeks, that's when the flavors actually start changing quite a bit. So yeah, I got a kick out of that episode. I was laughing my ass off. I was like, are you kidding me? Just talking about the neck pour and pouring it out. Or even the ones that are like, oh, this one's been open for like months and months, but there's still nothing more than the neck pour out of there. It's like you actually have to have like 3 or 4 out of there, actually let some air build that can get in there. And that's what actually alters the flavor a little bit. I mean, the same way if you pour a whiskey and just leave it out overnight. I mean, after hours and hours, the taste changes. And I mean, even though the bottle's closed, the same thing does happen inside the bottle. So yeah, I don't know about you guys, but I got a big kick out of that episode. But yeah, this one's definitely it's got more of a sweeter malt taste to it, and even on the nose, the sunflowers. I mean, it's definitely there on the nose, but it's a little more subdued, and on the taste, it's way subdued. Yeah, it's actually more of a sweeter malt. That's gotten better, and it's nice that these things are getting better because I mean, you pay a lot of money for these bottles. You don't want to hate them. Oh, what's up, Peter Griffin? I see you out there. Good to see you, brother. Oh, One True David Adams. Always good to see you, man. What's up, Peter Griffin? I'm thinking about doing I was actually thinking about maybe kind of that being the theme tonight, but I think I'm making a crosshair video. Like, I think I'm titling that "Crosshair as One Bad Cookie." Be doing one of my old school chop it up videos and show why Crosshair is basically just pure evil. He is an evil bastard. It's not just his chip going bad. He's just evil, period. Crosshair is just a bad dude. That guy, if you go back and like look at his basically what he's been doing this whole time, he ain't nothing nice. He ain't nothing nice. But this is something nice. The Teeling I actually don't hate. I'll put that right up there with the put it right up there with the Angel's Envy. Is that's another one that's gotten better. So yeah, we're 2 for 3. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. I like that. Oh man, what we got going on here? My prediction is Crosshair and Omega will be the last two left, kind of like an Arya Hound. Oh, I like that. That's pretty brutal. That's pretty brutal. I heard somebody talking about they think Omega might have some kind of inhibitor chip in her, and she might like just be playing a part of a little kid. But once they click her chip in, she may be the one that just goes loco, and she may take out the Bad Batch herself. Like she's just like a sleeper cell spy. What do you think about that? What? I added a little bit to that, but I actually like that because I was kind of thinking in that same direction. I was like, what if she's just a sleeper spy going to come back and get them all? Oh, what's in the glass tonight? Tonight I'm going back through my collection and checking out like all the bottles that I'm just haven't been a huge fan of, and I've just kind of been letting sit there for years and years. Years and years. I've only been doing this for like a little over 2 years, but yeah, like the Angel's Envy was literally one of the first bottles I bought. One of my first 5 bottles I bought, and I still have that and just haven't even touched it. Had the Jameson Black Barrel. Not a huge fan of that. And so far, just did the Teeling single malt Irish whiskey, and that's actually gotten better too. So now we're going to take it over to Japan, and I'm usually a big fan of Japanese whiskeys, but this Nika coffee malt, I mean, I've heard a lot of other people say this is their favorite Japanese whiskey. I'm just not a fan of it. I don't hate it, but it's super boring and bland. Like, it's just so boring to me. So this one's been on the shelf forever. It's getting down there. Time to check it out and see if anything's changed on this one. Of course, the Japanese screw cap. Oh, I can see Omega going ham. Hope they find Rex to remove it. Yeah, yeah, because they kind of they started out. Tech was making that little thing like they were like, oh, we got to go out here. Why are you letting the ship like I'd be doing or yeah. Echo was like, I'd be doing better if I had some help with the ship, and Tech was like, hey, I got to fix this thing. It's more important. And then we haven't heard anything else about it. So did he get that thing fixed that's going to be able to detect wonky chips or not? Like they can't be just dropping plot hole lines like that. Oh, but let's get some of this Nika coffee malt whiskey into a glass. I haven't had this in a while. It has been a minute since I had this. This is 45%. So right there at 90 proof. Gotta like it. Gotta like it. Oh, it's cool. Not too many things are 80 proof anymore. No 40%ers. This one's 43.3%, so 86.6 proof on the Angel's Envy. Anybody out there wondering? So yeah, other than the Jameson was the only 40% 80 proofer. But yeah, this one, this was one of my lowest scores ever on my reviews. I was just not a big fan of this one. And it's a bummer because I think I picked this one up in Vegas because I couldn't even find it here. It was always sold out. And then I got back and it was everywhere here. And this one was not worth the extra weight in my suitcase. I wish I had another bottle, I'll tell you that. I mean, it's a little bit sweet, a little bit maple syrupy, but yeah, a little bit of that sting in the nose from the ethanol from the alcohol. But yeah, as far as the flavor goes, there was just nothing about this that was ever jumped out at me. Let's see if anything's changed. Come by. It's got like a sweet brown sugar flavor. I mean, there is almost a pancake syrupy note. Brown sugar, pancake, maple syrup, which obviously isn't a bad flavor, but it's really kind of tamped down and just, I don't know. Just not a lot to this one. I mean, it is sweet for anybody that's just kind of getting into whiskey. This is a good one to pour for them because this, I mean, no burn, just kind of smooth, easy, floats right down. But yeah, just not a lot there. This one's not really for me. It's not bad. It's not making me make faces like, ooh, gross. It's almost like a yeah. It's almost like a spicy pan. Just want to sip on some spicy pancakes. That's not super flavorful, but definitely leans in that direction. Oh man, did you watch the teaser for Cobra Kai? Are you staying away? It's a big spoiler, actually. I know our man Terry's coming back. I haven't really seen I haven't seen the trailer, but yeah, I mean, if trailers spoil it, they spoil it. I'll definitely watch the trailer. But yeah, I'm all in. I can't wait for Cobra Kai to come back. That's one of the greatest series made in the last 2 decades. That is amazing. Like all the callbacks to the 80s is like, yeah, especially for those of us that lived it. Like that is an amazing, amazing series. Gotta love it. But yeah, I know Terry's coming back. Like he's always on all the thumbnails or whatever that I've seen for it. So definitely know he's going to be coming back. What's your favorite part of the bottle? The neck, body, or the finish? All of it. I love the neck because it's my first taste and I get to check it out. The body is kind of like basically what it is. So I mean, I always enjoy drinking that, and you get to sip whiskey. And the finish, there is usually once there's that much air, especially me because I have so many open bottles that I'm never drinking the same thing. So bottles tend to sit there for a while. So all those heels definitely change, and I kind of love that because it's a whole new experience. A lot of times it's not better or worse; it's just different, and yeah, different in a great way. Like I said, not better or worse; it's not just different. Good. I like it. I like it. Like all the different experiences with whiskey. That's the fun of it. All the different flavor profiles and experiences and sensations you get with the flavors and the taste and the nosing. That's 3 parts. I mean, I'm an idiot. I like the chase. I like going out and trying to find bottles. That's one of the most fun things I like to do. I freaking just drove the other day or last week because I've been waiting forever, and I go to Vegas, and the 2 weeks I don't check on it is the 2 weeks the Irish Blue Spot whiskey showed up here. And then I got back and called there, like everybody like, oh, sold out, sold out, sold out. I'm like, are you kidding me? So the one store is like, oh yeah, we got like 3 bottles left. So I had to drive basically an hour south to run all the way down there to get it. And they wouldn't even let me pay for it with a credit card. I'm like, dude, I'm on my way. Can I just pay for it so I know it's there and doesn't sell out before I get there? They're like, oh no, can't do that. I'm like, why? Like, how ridiculous is that? So yeah, they wouldn't even like I couldn't even pay for it to secure it. Like just had to jam down there and hope I was one of the ones that got it. But I did. So happy ending to that story. Be doing that review soon, but I finally got my Blue Spot Irish whiskey, so super excited to do that one. Yeah, this is spicy pancake syrup for sure. The Naked Coffee Malt. If you like rum or you like sweeter spirits, and you're looking for a whiskey, this one good place to start. It's got a little proof on it, but yeah, it's just like a spicy pancake syrup. Lots of brown sugar notes on that one. Oh, we're just gonna have a collection of glasses over here. Staying hydrated. Get a nice little wash, a little bit of water. All right, what are we gonna go to next? Well, I feel like that's gonna be a different. Let's go to. This is one where it's already kind of opened up and it's already changed for the better, so I'm already on my way to liking it. But again, the Kirkland 22. This is one that a lot of people absolutely loved. I even had one guy like yelling at me, "What do you mean you don't like it? Oh, you're crazy!" But yeah, it just had. It was like licking those potpourri sticks. Like it was just weird. So yeah, it had a really funky, weird, florally potpourri note right out of the gate that I just couldn't get past. That did subside about halfway through the bottle, and it has gotten better, but still not 100% my favorite. But it did get better. Let's see if it's gotten even better still. 22 years old. I mean, man, this should be fantastic. A lot of people were looking for this. I mean, it kind of sold out now, so I mean, it's harder to get, but glad I got to taste it. But I got to tell you, they got the 23 in Costco now. This is the Kirkland you'll get in Costco brands. They got the 23 in there, and up here they sell it for $105. And they had some weird sale one day I was in there, and I saw it for 85, and I was so close. I was so on the fence to pulling the trigger, but just the all-out experience I had with the 22, I couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it. And the 22 was calling me forever. Like, I waited to the last minute till where they were almost sold out. I was like, all right, let me just buy this damn thing. $100 22-year whiskey, let's get it. But yeah, just a really weird potpourri note I could not get past. Oh, wow, now it smells like grapes. The potpourri has gone to grapes, which that's nice. And like I said, I mean, the last time I tasted this, it had subsided. So now that there's so much air on it, and it's down to the last 20% of basically the last 20% of the bottle, 25%, it's going to be a lot better. Like I said, the air getting on it in actual time, not just 5 minutes, it does change things out of the neck pour compared to the bottom to the heel. That was such a funny episode. I was dying. Yeah, we poured out the neck and let it sit 5 minutes. That should change everything. I was like, come on, guys, not so much. Oh man, anybody else watch anything good out there? My folks are trying to get me to watch The Nevers. They say that's a fantastic show. I know that just ended. I haven't seen it. Yeah, I don't know. I know Loki's coming out in about a little over a week, so we'll definitely be all over that. That'll be the next one. We're going to be starting The Boys tonight, but I passed out and woke up a little late and kind of waiting for our man Andy on that one anyway, so three of us can all break that one down. But yeah, I think The Boys, I still haven't seen season 2 yet. It's terrible. And I'm dying to watch it. I love the first season. So yeah, we'll be getting into that sooner than later. Had a little bass sound opening. Yeah, the 22, that's because it's such a tall bottle. I did have a little bit of bass when this one did it because the bottle it's just huge. I think it's a baseball bat. 22 years of just rage. Oh, man. Ragnarok season 2 yet. I don't think I've seen Ragnarok season 1. What's that all about? What about that, what is it, Jupiter Ascending or whatever? You heard anything about that? A lot of people are talking about that Jupiter. Not a lot, but a few people I've heard talking about that one. I was wondering if that was any good. I was thinking about giving it a try. Oh, it looks like that's finally subsided a little bit. It's a Norwegian and doesn't have the biggest budget, but not bad. Netflix threw them some money to do a project. Huh. Kind of like the old gods, like yeah. Is that kind of like the old gods, the Odin son and all that? Old school. Watch Jupiter, but following Invincible, it's pretty weak, but still watchable. Yeah, Invincible is a tough act to follow, man. Invincible was amazing. Amazing. What's up, man? What's gonna happen? Is old boy gonna come back and be like, I'm sorry, and try to fix things? I mean, is there any redemption for Omni-Man? I don't know if he can come back from that. You called your wife a pet. It's like, I don't know if there's any coming back from that. But I still think I called it. That'll be amazing if I did. I think Debbie's pregnant. I just don't understand why they'd have so many scenes of those two being so frisky if it doesn't come down to her being pregnant and all this. I think that's why she was crying so hard and freaking out so hard at the end. That'll be a sick call. And yeah, I still don't know anything about spoilers or haven't read the comic books or don't know anything about the comic books. So yeah, I don't know where it's going or what's going to happen. And yeah, what's up with the Scooby-Doo? They did that Scooby-Doo start with Kal-El and Kal or whatever, and then they just dropped it. We didn't hear, even when they did the breakdown at the very end, they didn't bring it back up. I was like, what's going on with that? Is that thing going to possess everybody and take over the world or what? That's kind of crazy. It's just some of the old gods were born in current times and figured it out. Kind of like a half Thor, half boys situation. I cannot believe I haven't seen the second season of The Boys yet, but we'll get there. But yeah, we're gonna definitely start breaking that one down and get to it pretty quick. Given this 22, even though it had air in the bottle, I wanted to open up a little bit in the glass, give it a little time to air out. The nose is a lot more muted, though. Yeah, that potpourri effect has definitely gone away, which is nice because that was killing it with this for me. I was not doing it for me. Oh man, you think? What's up, Peter? You think Omega's going to make it to the end of the season for the Bad Batch? Do you think Omega is going to take out Crosshair? Will Omega kill Crosshair by the end of this? You saw she just got that little bow and arrow contraption and still had it all the way through that last episode, so you already know she's about to become the next end guy. Little Omega putting the end guy to shame. Oh yeah, the giant tamer is 100% back caught up. She's loving it. She's like, it's so brutal. She always puts it off, and then the second she starts watching it, she's just hook, line, and sinker into that thing. Yeah, she loves The Handmaid's Tale. She's all caught up and been watching it. Absolutely. Yeah, that might be her favorite show. One of them, anyway. She loves it. Loves to hate it. It's so bitter. You think Omega survives along with Crosshair if Vader takes out the rest? I think it's going to be Vader that takes him out, huh? I don't know, man. Like I was saying before, I think Sid might turn on him. Sid might be the end of him. They're doomed. Sid's going to set him up, and it might be like maybe Boba Fett ends up taking out the Bad Batch. Because they started out just unstoppable, and now basically they're getting taken out by like these punk-ass slave traders that ain't nothing. Like, dude, how are the Bad Batch taking out entire like squadrons of armies before, but now just a couple putzes on freaking with like net guns took them out, an entire squad. Unless they wanted to be caught, like they wanted to be caught so they could get in close, but it just doesn't make sense to me. Like they should have just went in, smoked all the slave traders, got the people out, and then bounced about their business. So, like Ricker said, he said we could do this in our sleep. So I don't know why they're all getting caught up like that. And like even though when they said what's our chances of getting out of here, freaking Tech was like, I don't know. There's no way to compute this one. Like things were looking doom and gloom for our peeps. Our heroes were looking down the wrong end of it until Omega was able to save them. Yeah, this is sweet. Not as sweet as the Nika, but it's definitely sweet. Got like a grape note to it. A spicy red grape note. Cheers. Yeah, I mean, I have to admit, it's gotten a lot better. Like I said, that potpourri note's gone, and that's what was killing it for me. It was like literally licking an incense stick. Ooh, somebody's getting it out there. Got those windows open. I don't know how it is where you guys are at, but today was a hot one out here. I never looked to see how hot, but it was warm. It got real warm out here. It must have been high 80s, which for out here in the Seattle area, it's smoking hot. You think it's going to be Vader that takes him out, though? I don't know about that. I do think it's Boba and Fennec who are cracking Omega, but not to kill her, to recruit her. You think Boba Fett's going to try to recruit her? I like that. Could be. And maybe Jenga's going to be with them. Yeah, that'd be kind of tight. Like I said, though, I don't know. Does Fennec and Boba know each other yet? I mean, this is kind of back way before their thing. And when does this track against the Mandalorian? This is like 30 years before the Mandalorian, right? I'm pretty sure. Because, yeah, Fennec was pretty young. So, yeah, this is like 20, 30 years before the Mandalorian. So, yeah, I don't know if they'd met yet. But that'd be interesting. That'd be a cool little callback if they did. After all, it's only a sister. Yeah, I mean, look at it like that. That's his clone DNA. So, I mean, they're semi-related for sure. Boba would be 15 in this timeline. What do you think about what if Jabba did it? What if Jabba the Hutt's the one that ends the Bad Batch? Like they call him in, he figures out that they're the ones that saved their little Moochie, and so calls them in for a job. They need money. They don't trust Sid. They go to do another job for somebody else, and Jabba the Hutt like turns on them. Maybe that's how Jabba and Boba Fett end up like working together so much. So maybe it is Boba Fett that takes him out, but it's Jabba that sets the whole thing up. I could see something like that happening. Bastard. Comics say he started his first guild around this time. So yeah, and I mean, if you knew Fennec was out there and you saw her skills, you definitely want to pick her up as one of your first in that guild. Absolutely. I think Jabba owes him one now. Yeah, no, you would think. So that's what I'm saying. You'd think like Jabba would want to hook him up for what he did, but Jabba being Jabba might just go evil and make that money with the Empire to try to, double agent playing both sides. And because yeah, Jabba couldn't still be tight with the Jedi's. I mean, he was basically ready to feed Luke to his Rancor that he had down there. So yeah, it looks. I mean, Jabba definitely goes to the Empire side, and that could have been how he did it. Maybe that's how he mooches his way in, is by taking care of the Bad Batch or setting up the Bad Batch. I could see some shit like that going down. That bastard, he's no good. Jabba the Hutt. Well, that's got spices. I see where that potpourri note is, but it's more like kitchen spices now. It's tamed down like that fake, fake particle note. Yeah, it's not bad. Still not my favorite, but it's definitely gotten a lot better. I don't hate the fact that I bought it now. At first, I was like, oh my God, I was looking so forward to this, and this is not it. But now with some air on it, 22 Kirkland has gotten a lot better. Still not exactly what I'd say amazing. A lot of people just really love it, but it's okay for me. I have to say, out of everything that I've tried so far, would I want to drink this most? Maybe. Out of the Jameson Black Barrel, Angel's Envy, Nika Coffee Malt, Teeling Single Malt Irish Whiskey, out of those five, I think I'd probably like this one the best. I'd probably drink this one. I'd probably drink the 22-year-old first. Good Lord. Yeah, because I believe that's certainly my oldest whiskey I have is 22 years old. I have the 21-year-old Parliament Glendronach and the 21-year-old Redbreast Irish whiskey, but 22-year-old is definitely the oldest I have here. Unless you count that Blue Spot, which you can't. The Blue Spot has a 7 on it because you can only put the youngest whiskey that's in there on it. But it said that Blue Spot actually has whiskeys that are over 20 years old in it. So it could be like 24, 25-year-old whiskeys in that. All right. Moving on to one of the most controversial whiskeys out there. This one truly seems to be a love it or hate it situation. And I got to say, I have fallen on the hate it side of it. I am not a fan of this at all, as you can see by how much is still in there. Most of that has been what I've given away, just asking other people's opinions. And I think I just taint it because they can see that I don't like it. So then they're like, yeah, I don't like it either. So I need to just be quiet and let people let people get it. But yeah, they just read me that, yeah, I'm just, because I always pour, one for each of us. And I don't think I even pour one for me when I pour this one anymore. So they just know right out of the gate. But yeah, this is the Dalmore 12. Looking good? Yeah, nothing in there. I mean, if I had to give this one a note, it would be wet dog. That's the note I get out of the Dalmar 12 is wet dog. And I'm just not a fan of wet dog notes in my whiskey. One sec. See if this one, I mean, it's got a little bit of air on this one, so maybe it's changed a little bit, but man, I have not been a huge fan of this one. Oh, what do we got here? Java seemed reasonable. He gave Han a bunch of chances. He just couldn't catch Han. I'm sure he had bounty hunters all over trying to catch Han, but Han Solo was too smooth for him and kept getting away. But I bet he didn't give Han as many chances as you think. I bet he was always on him trying to get to him. And I mean, he had to because Han sooner or later somehow delivered on most of his stuff. He might have been a little late and done it a little unorthodox, but Han Solo, I mean, he was a great pirate. He usually delivered. He says somehow I'm defending Java, right? One of the most evil bastards in the game. Oh, Baratheon drink, right? The stag, you got to feel it. That's another one I could actually pull out. The Game of Thrones Baratheon, that's another one I wasn't a huge fan of. I could actually pull that one out in this little band. Out of all the Game of Thrones, other than the Greyjoy Talisker, because it's peated and, oh my god, fear. But yeah, the Baratheon's one that I'm just not a fan of in that collection. How many points does that buck have on the bottle? 12. 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, yeah, I guess if you count the 2 on the bottom, it is 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I guess it is 12 if you count those. Absolutely. Nice catch. Oh, a little late and paid some interest. Yeah, he paid it. He paid it with getting frozen. But yeah, definitely, Hen was a great pirate. He got the job done. He did some jobs that nobody else could do too. So you don't want to just get rid of those guys. You got to give them a little rope. This one's died down a little bit, but it's still got that, just a little bit of that wet dog malt funk to it. And it's just not great. But it's definitely subdued. I mean, it's not horrible. I'm what, 5 drinks in now too, but still, this one's not terrible. But yeah, if you just get down into it, there is just this dirty, wet dog funk effect that's not great. Let's see how it tastes, though. Cheers. It's still there, but it's subdued. And I wonder if that taste is like the E150 caramel. There's a lot of E150 colorant in this one, more than I think any other drink that I have, any other bottle I have. And I think there's so much in there that it actually affects the taste. I think you can taste it in this one. And I think that's exactly what that is. Which blows me away. I mean, it scares me. They say like the King Alexander, the top end of one of this, the King Alexander the Third, that's like a $300, $400 bottle, and it's only 40% ABV, so it's only 80 proof. But a lot say how great it is, but who's trying to toss that kind of money up if it's a bunch of E150 colorant fake stuff? Oh, there goes that thing again. Am I glitching? Yep, I'm glitching. Man, that's such a bummer. That is such an irritating factor. Why is it doing that? I think I'm going to just have to pony up. I wonder if it'll still do that if I get the Pro. If I just pay them and get the Pro version of this, maybe it'll actually quit being so wonky. Because this is just nuts. Just cutting in and out. I mean, not doing anything. Don't really have anything else on. So I don't know why it keeps glitching out like that. Oh, what's your secret to cleanse the palate in between 2 bottles? Just H2O and smell some coffee beans. Just H2O, not even smelling coffee beans. Just get some water in there and let it rip. Water is the ultimate palate cleanser. They say if you want to really cleanse your nose and get your nose reset, no matter what you're smelling, just smell your arm. Look a little ridiculous, but that's the 0 setting. Like smelling your body basically is like what resets your palate. That'll take you down to 0 and better than coffee beans. And yeah, coffee beans just another smell, and you can only get to so many smells before your nose fries. So yeah, that's the way you're supposed to reset it. It's right there in the old elbow. in the gooch. It does though. Wow. I mean, I came back in. There's like more like a fruit salad situation going on, or a fruit cake potpourri, a little sugar, and yeah, I swear that's that E150 or yeah, that's that caramel colorant smell that I'm getting and tasting. Supposedly, you're not really supposed to taste that much, but you can. It's in here, and I'm telling you, it has an effect. Absolutely. Yep, I know they always put those coffee beans in there. That's the old school way, but coffee beans is just another aroma that you're getting. So basically, yeah, if you want to reset it, you need to be on your own skin because that's what you're used to smelling. That takes your olfactory back down to zero. Olfactory. Oh man, but yeah, this one I think this one's definitely got most of these. Actually, I'm kind of glad I haven't really tasted these in a long time. And a lot of them actually are a little bit better than what I remember. Again, with so many amazing flavors, it's tough to go back to the ones you're not a huge fan of, but you got to get through them all sooner or later. But yeah, this one, I mean, this one's definitely gotten a little better. It's not so horrible. It's gotten a little bit of rid of that wet dog now that it's got some air on it and been able to chill out. But it's more of a fruitcake situation now, which I like. But there is like just that confectionery fake. I want to say it's got to be that caramel color taste, but it's just this confectionery fake kind of taste on there. It's like it's the malt, but something with it. I think it's that caramel color. It's just a weird combination. Not the biggest fan of that one, but it has gotten better. But yeah, that's definitely on the bottom end of mine for sure. All right, everybody does a top 10. I could do a bottom 10 at almost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I could definitely pull out 3 more that I'm not a huge fan of and do my bottom 7 on my bottom 10 on my bar. Flip it up instead of a top 10, a bottom 10. Oh, that's basically what this video has turned out to be. Well, we got a little bit of time, so I'm going to save that last one. That last one's a peated one, so I mean, once you go peated, you're kind of ruined for the night. So let's see. What we were just talking about, the Baratheon, House Baratheon, Royal Lochnar, 12-year-old. I was just never a huge fan of this one either. Again, it wasn't awful. It's just kind of boring. Wow, I haven't opened that in a while. Whoa, that's a lot. We didn't need that much, I'll tell you that. But what are you going to do? It's in the glass. Now it's to be drunk. Still got to love these. I mean, these bottles are so dope that they made with this collection. Yeah, I'm a big fan of these, definitely. And it's what got me into whiskey, so I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Bad thing for the wallet, I know that. You want to talk about an expensive habit. Good Lord. Speaking of good Lord, my goodness. Pour some of this into the infinity bottle. I probably should. I did not need that much. But 'tis what 'tis. Ooh, yeah. Wait. Oh, wait. Anybody out there sipping on anything? You guys at work sipping? What are you guys doing? What are we getting into? Now, see, this actually has almost a grape smell to it, and I've never gotten that out of this. I don't know if my palate's getting fried already or. But yeah, this has a grape note I've never gotten on it before. So yeah, this is another one I haven't tasted in probably over a year. So I wonder if this one's gotten any better. Better. Want to be fair, give it one more palate cleansing. But work for an hour. Yeah, you better not. No drinking at work. You got to save it for after. What kind of bottles you got in the homestead, Peter Griffin? What are you drinking at when you get at home? You got whiskey, rum, vodka, tequila. Which way are you going? You a gin man? What's your spirit of preference when you get home and chill? Wow, now this has like a malt note, a little bit of honey. Oh, the nose alone has gotten better from what I remember. I don't even remember the nose being this good. Well, they said now you've been at work almost 2 hours. Thinking of what show to watch tonight. Oh, that's cool. You get to watch TV at work. Nice. That's always a bonus. Get paid for catching up on the latest series. Yeah, I don't know. I need to get another series. I know Loki's going to be coming on, so that'll keep me busy. I mean, that and the Bad Batch going back to back. But yeah, these last couple of weeks just been kind of a hiatus. Like, wow, do I want to take on a whole new series or? So yeah, I was thinking about. Like I said, we're going to rewatch the Boys and do the breakdown of that because I still haven't even seen season 2. And then still got to do like the Umbrella Academy, way behind on that, but I haven't seen season 2 of that yet. Hopefully that gets better. I love the Umbrella Academy, except for the last episode. It did not stick the landing. I was not a fan. Oh, and you guys, the Deadhead, not Grateful Dead, what are they? Night of the Living Dead or whatever just came out, that movie. Did you guys watch that? One buddy was trying to get me to review that, but I am just not a zombie guy. I'm just not a horror show guy. I don't like horror shows. I like comedies. Comedy and action shows. And of course, basically anything Marvel. I even like the New Mutants from Marvel. There's that wood note. That's got to be the cask influence. But yeah, I remember this one almost having like a Glenfiddich effect. I'm not the biggest fan of Glenfiddich. That's like licking bark to me. And this almost has that really woody kind of note to it. I remember that and I just got it. But even that has subsided and it's gotten better. It's like a great, like I said, there's that grape note on the nose now. It's like a sweet malt. That's gotten way better. Yeah, I was not a fan of this at all the first time I tried it. The House Baratheon Royal Lochnar, but that's gotten way better. See, this is why we need to go back and recheck, and we get so caught up in our other ones that we know we love that sometimes the ones we don't love so much get a little extra air on it, and they're not too shabby. I'm not mad at this one at all. I'm not mad at this at all. This has gotten way better. This might be the best, biggest jump so far. The Kirkland 22 is up there, but this might be the best jump up. It's not too shabby. Royal Lochnar. Nice. There's still a bit in there, too, so I'll get to enjoy that. Yeah, I'm telling you, you get a little bit of air on your whiskey. As long as your bottle's down at least a third, so there's at least a third air in there, it changes dramatically and usually for the better. Mostly indica smokers, but I do have, we're mostly indica smokers, but I do have a spice drum at the house. I should I should take a laptop in there and show you my bookshelf right now. Hmm. That's all we're gonna say about that. But yeah, you think I got a lot of bottles? Actually, I mean I have more whiskey bottles, but I have quite a few mason jars up there on the bookshelf. If you know what I'm saying. Plenty of flavors there too, so I'm with you. Plenty of flavors there. Oh my god, delicious, amazing, beautiful purple flavors, and like a whole thing of Keith, basically just pure as pure gets, which is just almost too much. But yeah, that's always a little. That's amazing to sprinkle over the top. I like this. That's the third shift. Home health care. They go to bed before I even punch in, so I'll watch a season of something every night. Oh, that's a lot. It's basically the giant tamer, only she does it for a state facility around here. But yeah, same thing the giant tamer does. Night shift, so yeah, they're basically all asleep. So yeah, same situation. That's awesome. Oh, keeps it cool, keeps it cool. Well, yeah, I am very impressed with the Royal Lochnagar. Royal Lochnagar. House Baratheon, bringing it home. There you go. Nothing wrong with that. Bobby B. Still has like the weirdest little. It's got the weirdest little oak note, but at least it's a sweet oak note on the back end. It's not funky at all. It's like a real sweet oak note. But yeah, that's a lot better than I remember. Very nice. Very nice. Well, it looks like we got about 5 more minutes for our happy hour. So we might as well get that last one in. And the last one I have is Highland Park 12. And a lot of people like this one, and more power to you. But as most of you know, I am not a fan of peated malts. I do not like peated whiskeys. And I remember I tasted like the Highland Park 18, and it wasn't very peated at all, I didn't think. I didn't think it was bad at all. So I'm like, oh, the 12 must really be mellow. So I went out and bought a bottle, and oh, God. They say like Highland Park is lightly peated. There's nothing lightly peated about this. This is a freaking peat bomb, especially for somebody like me who's just not into peats. Nice little pop, though. Look at it. Just a little in there. But yeah, this is just very, very peated to me. So just more than I'm looking for. 43% alcohol, so 86 proof. Highland Park, I mean, they do it right. They have nice cask. It's just, like I said, this is more peat than I'm looking for in my whiskey journey. How can Bobby B be wrong? You already know if they're going to have a drink for Bobby B. That's why I was so disappointed in it out of the gate. I was like, of all people, the biggest partier, the biggest drinker in Westeros, and this is what you put his name on? It's like, come on. Should have put that Oban up there for him, but what they put for the Night's Watch, but that was pretty good too. Yeah, for the Game of Thrones, I mean, for a starter kit, I loved it. I mean, I could tell what it was right away. It's like you could tell what was there, but that it would be better if you tasted other ones. Like you could just tell these were younger whiskeys, and like their older brothers would be good. And 8.5 out of 10 times so far they have been. Woo! You can just smell it. A little bit of salt, a little bit of sulfur. I'm thinking these must have been bourbon and sherry cask finished because I think there's a little bit of that sulfur note in there. Oh man, I'm wondering if the peat subsided a little bit because I'm not getting it huge on the nose. Like you can tell it's there, but it's not huge. It's more of an earthy peat. It's not real medicinal, but it's not super smoky either. It's more like an earthy peat, mushrooms and earth and mud. All right, let's do it. Let's get it in. Cheers. I mean, there is a sweetness to it, almost like peaches. And then the peat has subsided a little bit. It's not knocking me on my butt like it did right when, that first neck pour out of this was a monster. And that's the thing with peated whiskeys. The first few pours are the most peated. And then once the air hits it, they start subsiding a little bit, getting a little more subdued. And this one feels, thank goodness, like it's getting a little more subdued, so I might actually be able to make it through it. But that first couple, boy, like when I did the review of this, it about knocked me off my chair. The peat was strong. Peat was strong with this one. House of the Dragon should have some Big Brother bottles by then. Think Diageo's going to come back and do a House of the Dragon, do another Diageo release. That'd be kind of cool, actually. Diageo does do a special bottle release, but man, they're expensive. Like the Singleton, what is it? House, what is it? The fish, House Tully. House Tully is the Singleton, and that is like probably the most bland, boring bottle in the collection. Like it's just super, I mean, nothing irritating or gross about it. It's just super bland and boring. And then the singleton that the Diageo just did for their special release is like over $200. I'm like, I don't know. It's like the most boring thing in here. Now you want $200, and I haven't heard great things about that one even. So it's just like, how am I going to drop a couple $100 on something that's just, too many other amazing bottles out there you can get. So got to do your due diligence, and do your homework. Make sure you're not buying too many bottles like we've been drinking tonight that you're not in love with. Too many great bottles out there to be buying bottles you don't like. Got to buy bottles you enjoy. Do that due diligence. Watch those YouTube videos, and find somebody whose palate that agrees with yours, and sink in. Yeah, I mean, it's there. I think a big part of it is this is my final whiskey. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is my 8th whiskey in, so I think that has a lot to do with it. I was like, oh, this isn't quite as sweet, but yeah, 8 whiskeys in, it takes the pain away from most things. So, yeah, it feels like the peat subsided, but again, that could just be me 8 whiskeys in and my palate being a little deadened to it, so I can handle it a little better. And that's what you want to do. If you have a peated whiskey, start with your non-peated whiskey. Start with your sweeter ones. I usually grab some kind of 40%er. That's what your 40%ers are good for. Anything that's 80 proof, nice, smooth, mellow, start with that to get your palate out acclimated. Go from there. So start with the sweet, easy ones. If you're going to be drinking bourbon, or if you're going to be drinking rum even, or a different spirit, start with that and then move to whiskey. Don't ever drink whiskey and then try to move to something else, because it doesn't usually work out too well. There's just too much flavor in whiskey, and there's nothing you can follow up after that. But even with whiskey, like I said, you want to start with a 40%er and then move your way up through the proofs, and always end with the peated ones. Maybe start with the bourbon, start with the Irish, work your way through it, and end with the peated ones. Because once you go peated, there's no coming back. Your taste buds are fried to the peated side. Oh man, but yeah, not too shabby. Glad I did this. Kind of nice going back and revisiting some of these. And yeah, if you got a bunch of, if you have a bottle in your collection that you haven't visited in a while, it might be time to go back and check it out, because they do get better with some air on it. So that's going to do it for me. Looks like the hour's up. Hope everybody out there is having an absolutely fantastic week, and it only gets better from here. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you soon. Y'all be easy now.